Can the women bounce back? It's the all-round event at the Gymnastics World Championships next here on BBC Two.
Fire up the turbochargers, set the phases to equality. It's Murray time.
The thing is, social mobility costs money.
Yes, and we don't have any of that.
What you're telling me is that I'm going to be a woman with a computer and some pens.
Well, it's just a pen budget.
A new series of the BAFTA award-winning The Thick of It, coming soon to BBC Two.
Power, grace and dazzling athleticism now on BBC Two. Here come the girls as we join Gabby Logan live in London for the women's all-round event at the Gymnastics World Championships.
Welcome to London for the World Artistic Gymnastics Championships. It's the first time the capital has hosted this gymnastic extravaganza, and it's a venue with added significance. It's also a dress rehearsal for the biggest show in town. It's the O2 Arena which will stage the gymnastics at the Olympics in just under 3 years' time. Both the venue and the gymnasts will be keen to make a good impression. The spotlight is definitely on. The road to London 2012 starts here. And these championships couldn't have come at a better time for British gymnastics. For years, we've had to look east and west for the great icons of the sport. Now, we've got some world-class stars of our very own.
Come on, keep the swing going.
That is the hardest high bar routine the world has ever seen. Lewis Smith, for the first time in British Olympic history, medals in an apparatus final. He takes the bronze.
The gold medal has gone to Beth Tweddle.
And there's another name to include in this golden generation of British gymnasts. Step forward, Daniel Keatings.
A brilliant job under pressure. Well done, Mr. Keatings.
Daniel pulled off the performance of his life in front of a packed O2 Arena last night to take the World Championship silver. What a guy.
Confidence oozing from him. Daniel Keatings has done enough. He is a world silver medalist. This is incredible.
What an evening we had here at the O2 last night. The British men were on fire, Daniel Keatings in particular, but tonight it's the turn of the ladies, and here are some we think you should keep your eye on. The new kids on the block, two 16-year-olds, Rebecca Bross of the United States of America and the elegant and technically brilliant Anna Pogras. And a face you may recognise from Beijing. She was the bronze medalist there. It's China's Yang Yilin. And we've got two British girls in contention this evening. Becky Downey, British champion from Nottingham, a finalist in Beijing last year, and Rebecca Wing, who did brilliantly to qualify in the top 24. What people who watch gymnastics regularly will notice a few names missing from here. Obviously, the two Americans, Shawn Johnson and Nastia Liukin, are missing, and some new names in the frame. It's a new cycle heading towards 2012, isn't it, Craig?
Yeah, it's very interesting actually to see what the other countries are going to be putting forward as their hopefuls for 2012. So it's crucial for the other countries really just to see what they've got on offer and how they cope. in what is going to be this Olympic arena in 3 years' time.
Craig, I didn't give you a proper introduction. Craig Heap is a double Commonwealth gold medal winning gymnast. He knows what he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen. I've been with you so much over the last few days. We've been sat together like some kind of Richard and Judy of gymnastics, haven't we? But you've been thrilled with how the British men have done so far. They've really set the standard high, haven't they?
I'm so pleased. The tables have turned somewhat from my day where the women seem to lead off, being the underdogs. You know, it's never nice being the underdogs, and they've turned, and the British men have done absolutely fantastic. I'm so made up. And the boots on the other foot, and the women are really put under pressure now.
They are indeed. So let's get on with the action then. 4 rotations this evening. Let's hand over to our commentary team, Christine Still, Mitch Fenner, and a very excitable Matt Baker.
Well, thank you very much. As you can see, we're kind of set amongst the crowd here, so we're getting a real feel for it. But we're going to head straight down to the end of the vault runway to Anna Pogras. Now, she is a real rising star in the Romanian team. But this really is not her strongest event, so she'll be looking not to give too much away here from an execution point of view.
And she doesn't. Beautiful straight body, just a full twist, one twist only. The real strong vaulters will do 2 twists, but she kept wonderful style.
Well, this is the only final that Anna Pogras hasn't made.
She flips back, lovely straight body, legs locked together. Quite a large step on landing, but nothing much else wrong with that.
Now, Great Britain's Becky Downey waits the start floor, the first of her 4 pieces of apparatus here. And really is an incredible atmosphere here in the O2 Arena. Just listen to the crowd, there's still cheer, no doubt. Becky then medals herself, current senior all-round champion for Great Britain.
Becky, a very powerful gymnast. Builds for this first big tumble, the 1.5 twist into 2.5 twist. Good, strong landing. Straight back into another big tumble. Full twisting double back. She's really piling the difficulty in. The leap series that has to be included. Strong dance movements to go with the strong tumbles. Really well round that triple twist. And the triple spin as well. Tiny bit out of control on the landing there. That'll be a small deduction. But now she needs a big, difficult tumble. Lifts high, double pike somersault. What a great landing to finish.
A sturdy start there for Becky Downey. The smile shows that she is absolutely delighted with that. And she scored 13.3 in qualification. She was disappointed then, but let's hope the judges will be kind to her there. Claire Starkey there, the coach.
Sure, she's saying that was better than qualifying.
Lots and lots of power, so much determination. Lots of top on the triple twist, a little bit deep, but she was round.
Becky scores 13.525. What a start for her. Of course, 4 pieces isn't really a long way around, so you don't want to give away too much.
She'll be pleased with that. It was a step up from her qualifying score.
Anna Pogras for her first piece, 13.675. But do keep your eye on this gymnast. Well, a real hope here for a medal. Rebecca Bross, USA. She's had quite a bit of surgery recently. She's looking strong and was in qualification.
Lots of attack. Good Yurchenko contact. Double twist, clean and very easy.
Well, Bros was the highest qualifier, and that is why. Of course, Valeri Lukin there. Coach the all-around Olympic champion Nastia Lukin, who isn't here.
Comes on very square. Good, high, clean. Makes the double twist. Just a fraction offline, but quickly recovers. Good repulsion upwards. Nice and tight, wraps the twist. And just made an adjustment at the very end.
What do we think there? Because we're talking of the judging, you get kind of a small, medium and large deduction, so we'll come back maybe to that. Anyway, we join Yan Yiling on bars. This gymnast in the Olympics was the Olympic bronze medalist on this piece of apparatus. She also took a bronze in the all-around. But she's grown a little bit, hasn't she, Christine, since then?
Yeah, she has, and we're not in the top group here. She didn't top qualify in the top half dozen.
Yeah, she fell on this piece of apparatus, actually. Didn't qualify for the bars final.
That's right, so we'll be looking to put that all right, but she's got that wonderful style. Look, pencil straight, those handstands. Beautiful swing, lovely turns, sky high in the catcher of the straddle back over the bar. Another great turn to finish in handstand. And now a front somersault, a Jaeger piked. Swinging with good rhythm. Has to transfer from the high bar down to the low. She does that, just a tiny little loss of form in her back as she went down. But now she needs to wind up for the dismount. She's not swinging that fast, but up she lifts high. Oh, goodness me. Just didn't lift the hips into the move at all. It just went straight up and plumb down.
It was indeed a nasty fall. I think she's all right. She looks a little bit upset, obviously quite shocked.
She completes the full twist and the first somersault, but the second somersault, she was just too low.
Well, Rebecca Bros, 14.525. What a great start for her. Great Britain's Rebecca Wing will be the next gymnast to take to the floor. She actually qualified ahead of Becky Downey. Been competitive rivals really over the last few years, really right way through the ranks. So it was nice for Rebecca here to finish ahead of Rebecca Downey. Such a graceful gymnast on this piece of apparatus.
Hits the double Arabian. Slightly deeper landing, but that's a good, solid start for her. Double tuck, that foot just goes out for a 10. Slightest sign of nerves, just a little bit hurried. One and a half twists, nicely through to the double twist. She is just a little bit undercooked at the moment, but making her tumbles, that's the main thing. 2.5 twists. Just a few signs of nerves out there.
Well, she looked pretty tired, actually. I thought she did really well to get through to the end and to keep all of that style, to keep all of that elegance. Puffing a little bit there, but, well, a nice little settler, I think, for Rebecca Wing.
Yes, her first all-around final. She competed at Beijing, but she didn't compete on every apparatus, so didn't have a chance to make the final. She pushes strongly off the hands, out of the back flip, and gets cleanly round the 2.5 twist, but the step to the side will be a bit of a deduction from the judges.
12.55 then for Rebecca's first piece of apparatus, floor. They'll move on to vault next. Michelle Waldock there, coach. Trains out of the Heathrow Gymnastics Club.
From the USA,
It's so wonderful for these gymnasts to be competing here in front of a home crowd. Yan Yilin for bars, 13.95. She has got a lot of work to do if she wants to get back into contention. Obviously upset.
from the USA,
Well, Bridget Sloan is next to take to the vault. Such a powerful gymnast. Women's all-around USA champion. Looks like she means business.
She does. Oh, look, she rocketed off the top there so high she completely went out of view. But really, that was huge lift off the top of the platform.
Tell you what, she isn't messing about, is she, Bridget? She's here for one reason only.
Here we go. Look, she hits the top, blocks off the top, really lifts. Little deduction for feet crossed and slightly out of line. You can see the red line in the middle is where they have to try and land on. If they're out of line, it's a 0.1 deduction. But it's huge vaulting. And now Bridget really didn't work terribly well in the qualifier, and she looks like she means to put that behind her, doesn't she?
Yeah, she qualified down in 5th. Let's join Koko Tsurumi, Japan.
It was hugely impressive in Beijing. Lovely clean body lines. Little flourish. High in the straddle Jaeger. Half turn to contact the lower bar. It's a huge gap between those two bars when you're tiny. But she kept the swing going beautifully. Lovely wind-up. Double straight, super landing.
What a confident performance there from a girl who's just turned 17.
Very impressive stuff.
Bridget eagerly awaiting the score there for vault. Have to wait too long, 14.825. She's up in first position at the moment. Head down, on with the comp. So Koko Tsurumi, 15.05. She's just pipped Bridget there. And of course here in this, the women's competition, the difference between the vault, the women's and the men's isn't that great, so we can get a really good idea of the way the competition's going. With this is Una Defournet, France. Wonderful bar worker, Christine.
She is, and she's a little bit of a dark horse. She could come through. Look at this combination. Stole the fall straight into a sky-high Ginga somersault. We've seen her during the training do that with an extra turn up to the high bar. It's a mammoth routine, this, and she's now just getting little deductions on slack leg. But lovely double straight. Now that really was straight, that dismount. No arch, no pike. Impressive work.
She was 19th in the all-around at the Europeans. Una.
Coach much happier today. They came hoping to make the asymmetric bars final, and she fell 2 or 3 times in qualifying. But she's strong enough that she still made this all-around final.
Well, she scored 14.6. That's a great start for her. Well, after the first rotation then, let's have a look and see how things are lying. Koko Tsurumi, the young Japanese gymnast, leading the field. Bridget Sloan just behind her there. And there's Rebecca Downey down in 13th. Inside the top 20, that's great news for her. And Rebecca Wing just outside, down in 23rd.
closes her eyes, goes through this vault in her mind. Such a powerful gymnast, a lot to offer. Obviously, she was here last night watching Daniel go for the all-around. She obviously wants to do herself justice here. Had a great time in podium training or in qualification. A little bit of disappointment there, but this is the time to perform.
Had a quiet word with herself then, just psyching up at the very last second. And whatever she said to herself worked. Super vault.
There's 2 down for Becky. And as with the men, gymnasts just get 1 vault, so job done. Big hugs all round.
Great vaulting. Good contact. Made sure of that double twist. Started it a little early, but wrapped it up very nicely at the end.
Yes, and just you could see from the reaction of her coach, Claire Starkey, how delighted she was with that. She's quite a tall gymnast, Becky, and really has to work hard down that runway.
Anna Pålgras then on to bars. She made the bars final. Lovely long levers, and just watch how this girl can swing.
Pike in and out, lifts well to the high bar, hits this handstand. 1.5 turn, lifts the Jaeger. The Romanian gymnast, not renowned for great asymmetric bar work, but she looks very efficient here. Just a tiny bit late on a couple of those turns. But the judges like to see a good handstand line, which she's got. Good lift, double straight, very efficient. Looks a gymnast who can really cope with the pressure.
Well, that performance will boost her up the rankings. She was lying quite low after vault. Well, she'll be pleased to have got the vault out the way, get on with the rest of the competition. Becky Downey, halfway around. She scored 14.5, total of 28. Looking good for a top 20 here. Cannulin. Disastrous dismount. Fair bars. Such a confident beam worker.
She needs to regain a little bit of confidence, and this is the piece to do it, I think. Chinese look so elegant. The way they leap. They seem to have so much time. Tiny little adjustment. Nice and square in the shoulders and hips. Economical so far. Nice in the full twist Corbett. Little touch of the shakes, not too bad. Tiny adjustments, but she'll be pleased to get through this after the problems on bars. Light of touch. Head back, but she needed a couple of paces to recover there. Just not completely on some. Now then. Nail the dismount, 2.5 twists with a pace back. Well,
a little wobbly, really. 14.225, and what a difference a year makes with 3 medals from the Olympics. Pålgras 14.675 for bars. She goes up into first, but still a lot of gymnastics to come. Rebecca Bross is next up on bars. She's got her guards on. Certainly got the focus as well.
Well, that pirouette certainly finished in handstand, didn't it? That's what each gymnast's aiming for, to show the handstands, finish the turns in handstands, lift high above the bar. She's really showing her confidence here. Another very high somersault, real energy in her work. Transfer, the gymnasts have to move up the bars and back down again, and she's doing that with absolute ease. She's not losing swing, just a little bend of the legs past that low bar, but look at the height on that dismount.
Wow.
She looks confident.
Doesn't she? She was in 5th place after the last rotation, but Mitch, what power!
Oh, height and flight, that's how you summarise that. It was lovely work, very strong, beautifully attacked.
Look at Valeri Luke in there, striding away from the bars. Coco Tsurumi is leading after the last rotation. She goes up onto beam. How they managed to keep their composure on this is beyond me.
Hours and hours of practice. And she's a tiny little gymnast and starts with a very high jump. One of the most difficult jumps. And the free walkover. Straight into the backflip and layout somersault. She's fulfilled the judges' requirements of linking acrobatic elements. Now the half turn into the forward walkover. The gymnasts have to show at least 3 dance moves and only 5 acrobatic moves in these routines. The judges have tried to make it a little bit less acrobatic, but she's showing both very well. She's done 2 difficult jumps. And there she goes again, links the moves confidently and well. Another skill she has to include is the spin, and holds that leg up confidently. She was tight, she wasn't letting it go. Now, just the big dismount. It has to be difficult to get maximum marks. She makes the round off, lifts, 2.5 twists. It's a difficult dismount and well performed.
What a piece for Coco. She qualified for the Olympic beam final. She looks over the moon with that, I tell you what, deservedly so as well. Ross, 15.075 for bars, 29.6 into second. Tsurumi goes into the lead with 14.8. What about this halfway round? Let's keep the focus, Coco. Funny. She's next up onto beam.
Simple, elegant start. Solid. The free walkover. Nice acrobatic connection. That is always impressive to see. Standing Arabian, so much power in someone so slight. And precision as well. And this is impressive. She was clearly enjoying her bars, and she seems to be enjoying this moment as well. This is very impressive stuff from her. Nice little double turn, and she did it so easily. It's a long way around. A little bit careful on the leaps, the jumps, but she has done so much, been so impressive so far. Accelerates through the flicks, into the double pike, and that was impressive too. She's had 2 great pieces to open.
I tell you, we've talked about this new wave of gymnasts coming through, and I mean, goodness me, a 14.45 for a beam routine is incredible for a 16-year-old. Well, Bridget Sloan got off to an absolute belter on vault. No doubt she'll be putting all of that aggression, confidence through into this bar routine. Quite an energetic bar worker as well. She'll be putting all of that dynamic power through the wooden bars.
Starts with the turn into a forward element. The gymnasts have to show backwards and forward elements. Good transfer up to the high bar. Lovely clean pirouette and strong catch-ev. A release and recatch, and another one from the toe-on position this time, building this difficulty very well indeed. Smooth move down to this bar and smooth move up, not lost any swing at all. Every handstand hit cleanly, just needs a good, strong finish. Here it comes, full twisting double straight. Look, the smile tells it all. That's the first time we've seen her face crack today. She was delighted with that performance.
I tell you, there's a real competition between the Americans here as well, isn't there?
They're always at the party, always here, always prepared to bring something fresh, something attacking. And this really was impressive.
Yeah, not the super high difficulty of some of the gymnasts, but very few deductions, really.
And really a very different style of gymnastics as well. I mean, thinking back to Koko Tsurumi's little Japanese gymnast, you know, this is real powerful stuff, this.
A lot taller gymnast has to do a different style of work on the asymmetric bars.
Rebecca Wing then for Great Britain on vault.
1.5 twists, not the easiest of vaults, and she did it really, really well.
Beautifully graceful. 13.95 for Rebecca Wing's vault. She's into 14. Bridget Sloan goes up into second with a 14.8 for bars. Yeah, look, you can see it, can't you, in her eyes?
Okay, thank you very much, Lisa. Terrific cheering there by the crowd. I'm going to get going.
So you can see this arena is absolutely rammed here for the women's all-around. From the view that we're looking at here, you can see that the people are packed right up to the rafters. Kuraiwa Yamamoto.
Oh, a strong vault as well. The straight somersault with 1.5 twist. It's a little flicker of the legs. Many of these gymnasts favouring the round-off vault, flipping back onto the platform. You can just see the legs flick apart as she comes to land, but good flight.
Yamamoto, good vault for her. There are the standings then. Koko Tsurumi still hangs in there in the lead with Bridget Sloan and Rebecca Bross just behind. Let's have a look and see how Becky Down is getting on. Down in 9th, tying with Lauren Mitchell. Ariella Kaesling just hanging on there in mid-table at the moment. And a little bit further down, inside the top 20, is Rebecca Wing, holding on in 18th. We go then with just 2 more pieces of apparatus. See the gymnasts in the background just warming up on vault. They'll all get a little turn. Coaches rush in, change the board.
Koko Tsurumi.
Koko Tsurumi takes her position to start floor.
Now this is a big test for her. Has she got the power needed? Lovely full twisting double back. Strong tumbling, 2.5 twist into straight front. The judges have been told to be particularly stringent on deductions for landings, but she hasn't given them any room at all. Simply done, but beautifully done. Double twist in the front somersault. Beautiful, supple work. she's selling this floor routine. Little smile for the judges. Now she really needs to land this well, needs a very difficult tumble. Double pike back.
Well, the current leader, who qualified down in 7th, is going very well with 3 pieces down, Mitch.
Do you know what I'd say about that routine? The tumbling was emphatic. She was absolutely precise, determined, and it's almost, you heard Christine's words, the judges are watching for landings. She was spot on.
Well, she scored 13.225 in qualification. We'll come back to see what the judges offer her for the competition. But this is Rebecca Bross. Can she do, oh, a bounding leap up onto beam there.
Oh, just as they do with bars, the Americans do attack this. Attack beam, there's the Arabian. Standing Arabian, and she was very high landing out. That was very strong work. No nonsense in the acrobatic series. Absolutely square and precise. You have to wonder whether they'll suffer with the new code, because it's not how much you pack in, it's how you pace the routine. As Christine said earlier, you're only allowed 5 clearly acrobatic. I wonder if it suits them. Does it, Chris?
Yes, you have to do 3 large jumps. What she is very good at is she's very dynamic. She keeps the whole thing moving.
She's certainly in control of this routine. Great front somersault, just easily done. Making sure he's got the complete length of the beam in front of her. There's the round off. Double Arabian finish. I tell you, we talk about attack. She had plenty of it.
But I tell you what, with the options of fight or flight, she went for both of them there. Incredible performance.
Hugely impressive, just a different class to the way she performed in qualifying. She's, of course, from the same club as the current Olympic champion, Nastia Lukin, doing the same good quality work.
Coco looks on eagerly. Well, she's still up there. 13.725 for her floor routine. Not bad when you look at the average right across the board. Dufournet. She was qualified down in 12th position for the all-around. 19th in the all-around at the Europeans, so going very well here.
Full twisting, double back in the piked position. French gymnasts always have very interesting floor routines, always a little bit different. Double Arabian, good strong landing. Again, as on beam, the gymnast can only count 5 acrobatic elements. They have to count 3 dance elements. But if they can pack 2 somersaults like that in one tumble run, the difficulty adds up well, and that was a beautifully performed triple spin, one of the dance elements. They're required to finish with a D difficulty at least. They're all managing that.
Well, it was certainly world class, there's no doubt about that. Had the difficulty and certainly had the execution.
Yeah, very strong looking gymnast. She looks like she's got a big future. First World Championships. Was very shaky in qualifying, but having made this final has certainly settled right into it.
Again, a very young gymnast, 16. She had a disaster on bars in qualification, but she put that right. And she's certainly building from bars now. Rebecca Ross, 15.3 the beam. Katerina Navratilova from Russia. She qualified in 6th. She is then on beam.
Very clear attempt to disguise a slightly off-centre landing. No harm done. Very square. The free walkover. Oh, and she just seemed to give up there. Shoulders must have been well offline. Straight back on with it.
So a hallmark gone then for the fall.
Absolutely, and mentally to get back on and know still a few lengths of the beam to negotiate. Can't be easy.
We talked about the judging a little bit earlier on. The way it works is you get 0.1 for a little wobble, 0.3 and then 0.5. It's kind of small, medium and large with a full mark if you fall off.
Double tuck to finish. Oh, that's unfortunate. One whole mark, and as you were saying, small deductions as well. 0.1 here, a couple of 0.3s. Any 0.5s, Chris?
Yes, possibly a few. You see, she was offline when she started that somersault. The move before it was offline, and there wasn't much she could do about it, really.
It's interesting with this new difficulty score that's coming. Yana Defone then scores 13.3.
They are holding the scores on floor very, very tight. They have been the whole championships. They've made big deductions.
Anna Maria Tamajan hits the ball. She was in the Romanian team at the Olympics.
Chenko opener makes the double twist. Always the aggression.
She was 5th in the all-around at the European Championships earlier this year. Quite a compact, powerful gymnast, really, isn't she? Looking at Poorgrass and her.
Plenty of power, and it's so typical of the Romanians. Really do max all the time on effort.
Very similar to Steliana Nistor in style, really, that compact body that... She scored 14.275. Puts her in 4th. Pauline Orel, second of the 2 French gymnasts here in the all-round final. One and only vault.
The round off in front. 1.5 twist. She looked a bit surprised by that landing. The floor looked like it hit her rather than she gracefully met it. But not too huge a deduction.
It's difficult though, isn't it, when you are landing blind, when you're kind of looking behind you, sometimes you don't really get the chance to spot the floor.
That's right, and she had thrown her head back somewhat. She was quite offline. We couldn't see that as well. Now, those are all marks the judges take away from that 10 score that you start with.
Katerina Kurbatova, 12.85. It was a costly fall on beam. That's her bid for a medal out of the way. She's in 4th. Bridget Sloan, second after the last rotation.
USA, Bridget Sloan.
No doubt she'll hit this piece of apparatus with the same attack as Bross did.
She wasn't so confident here in qualification. It was quite a surprise, really, because like you say, Matt, the American gymnasts are usually very strong and positive. She went for a really big jump there. No wobbles, but the judges might have felt the feet weren't quite round on the turn. And that's when they don't give you the full credit for it. Stamps out the landing on that front somersault and gets the join straight up into the backflip and layout somersault. a little bit slower than Rebecca Bross and a little bit less positive. She just lost a bit of tension in the middle there. You can see when you pause a lot, you allow the wobbles to occur. Bross worked so fast that she kept the rhythm going. She's got plenty of determination, and she did get the linkage, the free walkover into the free cartwheel. Holding tight there because she was a little bit out of line, but all these moves add up to give her her difficulty score. The gymnasts add their best 8 moves together, the highest ranking. Now she must make a clean landing here. Big double pike back, I'm sorry, and she made that, but it was a bit of a fight, that routine.
Well, this is going to be very close indeed. Just 0.025 separates the two Americans.
Significantly, though, it was a fight, but she won it. And that shows a lot of determination, a lot of grit.
She did win it, but she will have lost some marks for wobbles. You know, that was at least a 0.3 deduction. This was huge, though. Double somersault in the pike position. Great landing, chest right up.
It's amazing, isn't it, with that confidence, how the Americans seem to make the piece of apparatus work for them. Well, I think she thinks to herself, could have been a lot worse.
I think she does. I think she'll have been very, very pleased to have fought so hard and won the fight.
Pauline Morel, 13.725 for the vault. She's inside the top 10. So then one more piece of apparatus for her. The guards suggest it's ear bars. Yamamoto then, Brazil.
Kachev. Clean enough. Nice line. Nice endo technique as well. This is nice stuff. Into the Jaeger. Good, clean work. And hits handstand on the transfer. Needs to keep that swing going now. Nicely. Cross the bar with the pirouettes. Into the double tuck, just a little bit out of control. But some nice work in that routine.
Yeah, and I tell you what, potential for the future at 16 years old. 13.5 for the gymnast from Rio de Janeiro, who no doubt will be working for the 2016 Olympics there. Bridget Sloan, 14 dead scored for Beam. In second still.
So 1 mark less than Rebecca Bross.
He's trying to work out the scores as well. It's always difficult when there's gymnasts in different groups to keep your eye on. Look at this little gymnast here, Den Lingling. Remember her from the Olympics. Part of the gold medal winning team there, Beijing.
Big pause and a big pike front somersault. Oh, but shoulders were well out of line. Although she didn't fall from the apparatus, she will have as much deducted because she had to hang on to it. But look at that tumble. Straight back, just like she's on the floor. Smooth spin there. Lovely, supple movements. And that leap where she took the head right back, touched the head with the foot, gets maximum difficulty. She's adding the moves up there, the free walkover, another big jump where she took her head back, but she just wasn't high enough, and the beam sort of arrived before she was ready to land on it. Very uncharacteristic work, this from the little Chinese gymnast. She's quite unsettled now, and every move's got a small wobble on it. Just shows how easy it is to lose your rhythm and your confidence. You don't need to be very much offline at all. The side somersault, And now the whistle means that she's got 10 seconds to get off the beam. If she doesn't, there's a deduction, but here we are, flip to 1, flip to 2, double pike, smoothly off, but she won't be happy with that.
Yeah, you kind of get the feeling, don't you, after the Olympics, that the attention really has been taken off and the focus has dropped a little bit, and they're just really just a little bit raggy.
Yes, a little bit regrouping, and the gymnasts who did the Olympics have obviously had quite a bit of time off, and look like they're struggling to get it back, like you say, Matt. I guess now there's that jump. She took the head back beautifully, touched the head, but you've got to have a bit of height as well.
But a year ago, that would have been so precise.
Yes, yes. I think the preparation they had put into that Olympic team was enormous.
There goes Blancas then. Elsa, off she goes.
Oh, look at the aggression in the run. Good work, 1.5 twist, very long, very high.
13.975. They're in 10th. So Jan Yelin hasn't had the competition that she would have hoped for here. This was a lovely routine in Beijing. Will it be the same one?
Well, the music has the same big drama. Very nice triple twist at the start. Very clean. Double pike back somersault, but not the huge difficulty of some of the gymnasts. Goes for the triple spin, just a shade off with all of it. 1.5 twist into full twist, that was clean. Same beautiful presentation, but not the same difficulty in the tumbles. 2.5 twist.
Yeah, she's given away a few vital tenths there, but as you say, Christine, still the same elegance and still the same beauty that we loved so much in Beijing.
That just comes from years and years of training, and in a way, you never lose that sort of class.
Well, her teammate, Den Lingling, scores 13.5 for a wobbly beam.
A little repair job there to the ankle. Looks like she's possibly a little bit sore.
Well, let's join Great Britain's Becky Downey below the A bars. It's going well for her at the moment. So, what will the bars have in store for her?
Oh, she's capable of very good work here. Nice, clean, easy transfer. Hits the handstand, nicely through the pirouette. Oh, she's off to Onkachev, and that is not what any of us in this arena wanted to see. Shrug of the shoulders, another word with herself, and she'll be determined to make amends as well as she can. She's away again. Start a full turn. That time into the Kachev, no problem. Still a little bit short of handstand on occasion. She hit that one on low bar though. And again there. Full twist in the double tap, but what a pity for her, Chris.
Yes, and I'm very surprised. I haven't seen her miss that move really in competition very much at all. One of the most difficult moves you can do on asymmetric bars.
Such a shame for her, but she kept her chin up in front of this packed audience here, and she hasn't let them down at all. Goodness me, what a way to finish.
No.
Nicely disappointed.
She came on very, very late on that toe-on and just didn't drive the feet down early enough. She got the hands on, so the judges will probably credit the move. She has to show momentary hang.
13.6 reservations from Rebecca Wing. And Yelin, 13.7. She's down in 7th. Can't quite believe it herself, I don't think. Such high expectation coming into this, as there is with this gymnast. Borgras, or Beam. And I was amazed at her in qualification on this piece of apparatus. I saw her up there and I actually thought that she was warming up. She looked so confident, so nonchalant as she went through. Suddenly realised that was actually a qualification, and she did qualify for the Beam final.
Having watched her in training during this week, she's been very, very impressive. A really elegant performer, but of course, this is the world stage and she's a newcomer to it. And it'll be very interesting to see how she handles the extra pressure that comes with such a good qualification. She's now the gymnast all eyes are on.
You may remember Sandra Isbasa, who still is competing. She's injured at the moment, but she's concentrating on her exams as well. But she again was a fine Romanian gymnast, stepping aside, making way for the youngsters that are coming through. But yeah, the first World Championships for Anna Borgras.
Now, the Romanian gymnasts are not normally noted for their tremendous elegance, but they are for their wonderful stability. Now, she is beautifully elegant, and if she can have their customary stability as well, then she'll go on to be a very special performer.
Just waiting for the score of the previous gymnast to be confirmed before Anna can take to this beam.
See the gymnasts on the floor practicing the moves they're going to do on their next apparatus. Absolutely, yeah.
It's heaving. I mean, it's a 12,000 seater arena, this, and there isn't many seats spare. Supporters, British as well. So Anna Borgras. It's always difficult to remain focused in a situation like this when you are waiting for these judges to come up with their final score. And there are 6 judges that are looking for execution. There's 2 that work on difficulty. The 2 highest scores from the execution side are taken away, and the remaining are averaged, and that's how the gymnast gets their scores. But it's quite interesting now, isn't it, Chris? Because now it's the top 8, really, isn't it? The top 8 moves that are counted.
Yes, the Olympics, the women gymnasts, their best 10 moves were counted. It's changed now. It's only their best 8 moves, and there's 2 judges, like you say, Matt, that are just counting up those moves.
And it is the D score that we're waiting for at the moment. So just a little bit of deliberation over that, Mitch.
Well, I mean, the judges are deliberating, but we spoke about earlier, especially in yesterday's competition, about that other skill, that other apparatus, the mental stability. And this is where, while all this is going on, that gymnast is waiting. Now, is there a coping strategy? What would she be thinking, Chris?
It depends. She may well have a mental rehearsal in her mind that she goes through for just this. I mean, the gymnasts are held, they have to be up on the podium, but the red light is on to tell them they can't go. But once it goes green, like it has there, they've only got 30 seconds to start.
Well, they are ready. Now let's join Anna Borgras for B.
Starts with an easy mount. They don't have to count the mount as one of their 8 elements. You can see original, supple work. Great confidence from the forward element, the free walkover, to the backward element. Look at that jump. The change leg, splits leap to ring, touches her head. Watch this carefully. Oh, goodness gracious me. We've seen that in training, looks so confident and solid.
Was it the weight?
Well, the weight of expectation probably, Matt. But she's keeping a rhythm and in a way working with a little bit less tension now, having made the mistake. It's looking more like the training exercise now. Well, these young gymnasts are great, but they're showing they are still very young. It'll take them 3 more years before they're the finished article ready for the Olympic stage. Moment of composure. 1 backflip, 2nd backflip, double pike somersault, but the damage is done.
Well, great disappointment for the 2nd highest qualifier. We tipped her for a medal, but unfortunately, I think it's game over for her.
Great point you made, Matt, about the weight. You know, you've got to focus. The routine is long enough on its own, and then when you've got 3 or 4 minutes before it, your mind must go blank. You've got to struggle to keep on focus. It may have well been a telling factor, I think.
And as well, I mean, because we were waiting so long, all the other gymnasts had finished. All the focus in this massive arena was on her.
And actually, it didn't look terribly off in the backflip. The backflip looked pretty square.
Lauren Mitchell from Australia. She was the 3rd highest qualifier, 18 years old, from Perth.
Strong, now she's shown us just how to do it. Flip to 1, flip to 2, straight back somersault. Just a little hesitation, but getting on with the work well. Adding in difficult jumps there with a half turn. She's quite an experienced gymnast, Lauren Mitchell. Was at the Olympics. Watch this. 1, 2, and a half spins down in that crouch position. Very original work and very difficult as well. And that's very unusual as well. Free walkover into the front somersault. Now she's done her difficult and original work. The change leg, trying to take the head back to the ring position. That was probably one of the things the judges will have to have a debate about, whether they think she performed it well enough to credit it. Here the dismount though, the 2 backflips, the double piked back somersault, a really good performance under pressure.
Well, she won the World Cup final on this piece of apparatus. She scored 15.1 there. Big smile from her and from her coach. Well, another chance to see Anna Pogras score 14.125, a whole mark off. Very costly fall. She's in 5th.
But interestingly, the same sort of score as Bridget Sloan without a fall.
Well, Rebecca Wing is next to go up onto the ear bars. Final little word from her coach, Michelle. Becky's ready. As is everybody here in the O2 Arena.
Hits the first handstand. Nicely into the half turn. Good in the Kachev. She's swinging very well. Good transfer. Stoop on and off. And again, this time, to contact the higher bar. Keeps the swing going, the straddle transfer. And a double pike, well, it was clean, no nonsense. She's enjoyed this competition. She's going through very well.
13.3 for Rebecca Wing. That will keep her inside the top 20. Let's have a look then. Rebecca Bross takes the lead ahead of her teammate Bridget Sloan. Little Coco Tsurumi drops down to 3rd. Lauren Mitchell still in with a shout there. Rebecca Downey in 10th at the moment. Yanya Lin there in 9th as well. Dodgy floor, but Rebecca Wing in 18th. She's still inside the top 20.
Well, it's been an interesting first 3 rotations. From a British point of view, such a shame to see Rebecca Downey there in 10th place. That fall from the bars has cost her dearly, hasn't it?
Absolutely, and she could have been pushing a lot higher for sure. But it just goes to show the pressure in here. And we've seen quite a few gymnasts falling from the top ones right down.
Well, I was going to say that to you actually, because Christine made the point in commentary as well. This is the start of a new rotation. These girls are looking forward to 2012, and that experience of competition breeds consistency. And at the moment, they haven't got that. They've got the tricks, but they haven't got the consistency.
Absolutely, and looking at the young Romanian there, Progress on beam, absolutely beautiful to watch. And like in a couple of years, get a bit more experience under her belt, she'll be right up there. But unfortunately, at the big occasion, they're not just ready for it.
Right up there, though, are the Americans. Let's just talk to the commentary team about this. Matt, the American men let their side down badly last night, didn't they? But the women are making up for it this evening.
Yeah, do you know, I really thought that Horton especially would thrive in an atmosphere like this, but yeah, the girls have come in tonight, and I'll tell you what, confidence is key for them, absolutely extraordinary, and like we said in commentary really, they are making the piece of apparatus work for them, and there's no doubt about it. They go in there and they get exactly what they want, don't they, Chris?
Oh, they do, and they're going to be difficult to shift. I'd be surprised if we don't have a USA 1 and 2.
Got a very special attack. They attack the apparatus. They have this mental attitude. But isn't it good to see the little Japanese girl up there, Koko Surumi? I mean, the name is fabulous. Her work is great. It's good to see it.
Yeah, she was beautiful, absolutely beautiful on floor. Of course, one more piece to go, so who knows what's going to happen at the top.
And
it's
Matt,
very, very close.
It would be great if Rebecca Downey could finish in the top 10, but Craig was just saying I wouldn't like to be finishing on beam if I was trying to secure a top 10 place.
Well, well, that's for sure. We've seen a few wobbles there, but Becky will know that every single person in here is on her side, so really that can only help.
Yeah, she looked distraught, as if she'd let the house down, didn't she, when she fell off the bar. She hasn't. She's still in 10th, so let's hope for a successful 4th rotation. I'll leave it with you guys.
Thank you very much indeed, then. So, the gymnasts preparing for their final piece of apparatus. For some, it's about just keeping the performance going, keeping the momentum that they've got here in this competition. For others, it's about digging deep for that extra couple of tenths. Defonet, the young 16-year-old French gymnast, will be wrapping up her competition on vault.
Last chance to impress the judges then. Yachenko, oh, that was nicely done. Good straight shape, held the shape, the line all the way through it.
She was in 6th going into the last piece. So she finished off the competition in exactly the same way she started.
Watch this, it's a long way round, driving the heels over. Very nicely done. Half turn on, straight half turn off. Nicely done. Scuttles down the runway, converts it very well though.
This vault a 5.6 difficulty. That difficulty score is added to the execution out of 10, so the whole vault is marked out 15.6. First to go in this last rotation. She scores 14.3, which, as you saw from that little score, puts her into first, but the gymnasts are yet to follow. Katerina Curvatona. Pretty sure what piece of apparatus she finished on there, but not a bad performance all round. So Bridget Sloan wraps up on floor. And for her, I mean, this really is a case of containing all of that power, all of that energy in a floor area that looks pretty big on this shot here, but when you get down there, there's not a lot of room. Looking for height as opposed to length with the tumbles.
Minimum amount lot of effort expended on the opening to leave her plenty of energy for that opening tumble. 1.5 twist cleanly into the triple twist. See the puff of the cheeks, another big tumble coming along. Full twisting, double pike somersault. Clean jumps, no hesitation. Ooh, 2.5 twist in the forward direction. Gymnasts have to do forward and backward elements. And well performed the spin. Second spin with the leg held high. She looks like she's really full of determination, but must harness it. Double pike somersault. Wow, what a good performance under pressure.
And you could see it on her face as soon as she landed. A beaming smile came out. Really the first time that we've seen elation from Bridget Sloan, but I tell you what, this is going to be very close. 1.275 separates her and her teammate Rebecca Bross.
Absolute determination there. There was no way she was going to make any big error.
This little wave there from Bridget, making contact with our cameras for the first time. Focus has been on the competition for the whole time. Senna, 7 over. European champion. World champion on air bars. It's up until tomorrow's final, Sunday's final, I should say.
Very popular entry position, very deep after the 1.5 twists, so she's not on song, is she?
She really isn't, no, and quite surprising really, because earlier in the year she won the European Championships, looked very strong still, coming back well after a good Olympics where she was 4th, but this week she just hasn't been there at the races at all.
If you look at the contact here, she didn't really straighten the arms, and you need that to get a good, efficient push. It wasn't solid, and that was the result.
She sensed it on the way around. You could see she started to bend her legs halfway because she knew she just needed a bit of extra rotation.
You really need to be sharp off the top. The arm stayed bent. She struggled, did well actually, to get through it.
And that's the thing with the vault. It's over so quickly. If you nail it, you're absolutely over the moon. You don't, well. Bridget Sloan, 14.2. She paces the floor and waits.
Well, of course, her teammate is equally one of these inexperienced gymnasts.
13.4 for vault. She's outside the medals even at this stage.
Yes, Rebecca Bross, who was in 2nd place, is still quite inexperienced.
Well, Ariella Kaislin lines up at the end of the vault runway, and I will tell you that gymnasts have been making their way here to the O2 Arena in all sorts of ways. Some have been taking the boat. I was on the tube with her first thing this morning. Couldn't believe my eyes. But yeah, she was feeling quite confident going into this. His first Europeans in the all-around.
Quite a specialist on the vault, European champion, and that's why, look at the lift, 1.5 twist in the straight somersault, a really fabulous vault.
Super stuff from the Swiss gymnast, 22 years old.
Sets it so well, doesn't she? And then just wraps it in.
She does, and you can see on the back there it tells us that this has a difficulty value of 6.3. Most of the gymnasts have been doing the maximum of a 5.8, so she starts with half a mark up off them, but she really lifts well off the top.
Oh, she was 5th in Beijing in the vault final.
She uses all that power, blocks on the front of the platform where the springy bit is, and really lifts up well.
Ariella Kerslin then qualified down in 9th place this all-around final. Judges once again deliberating. They're taking their time here today, but they've got to be right. Got to make sure everything's absolutely perfect.
Her style is the old-fashioned style of vaulting where you ran, before the Yurchenko group came in, you ran as hard as you could and then converted it. And it's so powerful. It takes me back a bit. And to see vaulting like that, it's good to see it.
The discussion will have been that she nominated a straight front somersault with 1.5 twist. And as you saw with the slow motion shot, she did actually pike the hips a little bit before she set the twist. And if it's only given as a pike front with 1.5 twist, the value is lower. And that's exactly what we're waiting for, the D score to come in to decide what they give her for that vault.
Well, in the meantime, we'll join Lauren Mitchell from Australia. She'll be looking for a place here on the medal rostrum. She was in 3rd in qualification. She was in that Australian team that finished 6th at the Olympics.
She was so impressive on the sister apparatus to floor on beam. Can she carry it through here? Good double Arabian into stag. Good attempt to disguise any faults on the landing. She did it very well. Acceleration through the flick. Did the foot just creep out there? Pulling back out pike, so 2 good tumbles. She's borrowed that from her beam routine. High and precise. She certainly had a very good penultimate piece, and this is a strong final bid. Very well done. Found something extra, and definitely in with a chance here. Final breather. It's important and it's good. Double pike, just a little hop forwards. Well done indeed.
Interestingly, putting in those leaps with the previous tumbles there, you know, a bit of a master of disguise, but I don't think these judges will be fooled, Chris.
No, but they are saying that if you dance out of the tumble, you know, her opening tumble, as she landed, she's jumped straight into a leap, and therefore there's no deductions for a bad landing. And yeah, she's cleverly doing that. Not there, though. That was a definite step out, and we said yesterday if the step back is wider than the gymnast's shoulders, it's a 0.3 deduction, a medium deduction. So I think that definitely was one of those. But this was much cleaner. Just a tiny hop forward, a very small deduction, just 0.1.
But she's had a very strong second half of the competition, hasn't she?
That's it. I mean, well, Ariella Kerslin just awaiting her score for vault, just tending to a few little plaster issues. 15.125 for Ariella Kerslin. That puts her in 3rd. Still, Rebecca Bross, Edel Coco to come. Speaking of which, Coco Tsurumi finishes vault. Interestingly, she's not in the leading group here because she was quite a bit down in qualification, qualified 7th. So what with Bridget Sloan and Rebecca Bross, they're in the opposite group, so she'll be been keeping an eye on them, seeing how things have gone, not actually competing with them. Lauren Mitchell, 14.025. Coco Surumi was third after the last rotation. She's keeping herself nice and relaxed. What will the next 15 seconds or so have in store for her? Let's find out.
Well, it was a clean vault, it was high, but low on value. So she put everything on style, everything on height, everything on consistency. Super competition. She's such an exciting little gymnast to watch. Yurchenko with just the full turn, but it's plenty of height, lovely style.
Rock solid.
Oh, absolute discipline in body line. Good conversion, loads of height, stretches through, and only millimeters off the red line. Great way to finish.
Well, Coco, what is it enough for a medal?
Floor now.
Time will tell.
Anna Borgras.
Anna Borgras will be taking all of that elegance and that style, piling it into her floor routine.
Yes, a very slight gymnast. Can she tumble and dance? Well, that was a good start. Full twisting double back. Two and a half twist straight front. Beautiful piece of music. Huge jump. Now she definitely held the leg up on that spin. Strong enough. A real classical gymnast. I don't think I've seen such a classical gymnast from Romania. Strong double tuck to finish. Just beautiful work.
Yeah, and in the dawn of this dynamic gymnastics, I'm sure, Mitch, a lot of people out there would have loved to have seen that, and really reminded me quite a lot of Anastasia Lukin.
Well, I mean, we're used to seeing the Romanians attack the floor, tumble everywhere, minimum in terms of dance, minimum in terms of how they celebrate. That was lovely to watch.
Coco Surumi, 13.6. She's in silver medal at the moment. Wow.
Yes, you were saying, Mitch, a really classical gymnast, very much like Lukin, you're right, and with a bit of maturity and a bit more strength, I think she'll be sensational.
Well, on for the score, a bit longer. Looking around the arena, the final gymnasts completing their final routines.
Here are the tumbles. Lifts well. This is the double tuck back at the finish. It's quite difficult. It fulfills the requirements, but not the super difficulty.
14.025. It's in sixth. But one to look out for in the future. Well, Rebecca Bross with her final piece of apparatus. Can she hang on in there? Can she, at 16 years old, win the women's all-around final?
Very, very big moment. Straight front, double front, beautifully done, bounced out of it indeed. So, That's the way to start. Same aggression, same attack. 2.5 twists, beautifully round there. Very sharp in the twisting elements. Oh, and clearly off centre. So just that one error, obvious error in the spin. It is on a balance between the dance and the acro, just as it is on beam, and she's more at home on the acro. Big tumble, she'll feel happier with this if she hits it. Super, oh, she's missed it. 2.5 twist and just lost the rebound.
Well, the last move of her competition, she kept the focus all the way through. I mean, she looked like she was on a mission for gold with a soundtrack to match, but goodness me. What happened at the end? Do you think she just took her eye off it, Chris? Or?
I don't know. She was definitely weakening through that routine. The last few bits of dance weren't quite so crisp. The legs were a little bit bent. So whether she was just a bit of short of energy right at the end there is this. There we are. You see, she went very long. She went for 2.5 twists and threw it backwards rather than upwards.
I don't think she got round in the 2.5 twist. She wasn't square to set up the semi.
Yeah, I think her hand slipped on that first round off, actually going in. It just looked just a little edge there.
Interestingly, you know, this gymnast hasn't done a single backflip in this routine. All her tumbles have come out of a round off or a handspring. So whether that's because she has had injury and whether that's one of the reasons, but it makes it quite difficult. The gymnast builds their power with the backflip. Having to just come out of the round off was really difficult for her.
Well,
Buchan, he knows what to say at a moment like that. It must be very difficult.
Well, Bridget Sloan, who's just behind her teammate, well, looks away. She's looking to see how well she's done. I mean, it's a difficult situation, isn't it, when the competition is so tight between the two of them. Obviously, they're used to competition in America as well. The rivals there.
And of course, Bridget Sloan, veteran of the last Olympics, this the new young pretender. She'll be keen to try and keep her at bay. She was probably resigned going into the last piece, Bridget Sloan, to think that she was going to have to take a silver, but now suddenly thinks there might be a glimmer. That will be quite costly, I think.
Well, Rebecca Bross, she's down into second. 12.875, that is drastically low.
Well, I think she possibly may have lost that last tumble, you know. It was performed sufficiently badly.
So, let's join Becky Downey, the beam. Her fourth and final piece of apparatus. Everybody here is right behind her. Come on, Becky.
Has to control her nerves. On this apparatus, always quite difficult to finish on the beam, particularly when you've had a little bit of an unhappy outing on bars. Strong front somersault. Free walkover, links into the backflip, that's great. That gives her two acrobatic elements linked. Oh, but she's let herself go on the spin. It's the full spin with the leg held up high is a tricky move, and you have to be so strong through the middle and the hips. And she just wavered. Strong leaps there. The free cartwheel, she's very good on the acrobatic elements, and she's a beautifully prepared gymnast. Supple, strong, oh, and again, the side somersault. You really, on those sideways landings, don't have to be very far off to make an error. Now, She's still got a couple of difficult moves to go, and she has to compose herself. She did that very well. The leap to take her head back. Now, this was where she came to grief on the qualifier, but she really can't afford to let it go there, and she doesn't. A double pike dismount shows she can make the dismount, but goodness me, she really won't feel pleased, as you can see, with that performance.
Coach being very wise there and not saying too much at all. What can you say?
Well, it's a great deal of pressure, and you never quite know how gymnasts are going to react to it. You can see she dropped the left arm, and it almost created a second turn. It tilted the body, and she'd really made it far too hard for herself.
So, disappointment on the final piece, 12.15 for Becky Downey. Rebecca Wing. Final apparatus for her. Again, that little whisper to herself. Get focused.
It's a difficult mount. Always makes your heart go a little bit to start like that, but she did it very well indeed. Round off layout, and then the full twisting flip. Difficult work. But she's very nice, supple gymnast. Elegant as well. The strong free walkover. Links well into the backflip and layout somersault. Very smooth and confident. Links the change leg into the tuck back. By linking those moves together, she gets a bonus. 0.1. Oh, goodness me, don't tell me we're going to see two full spins come to grief. Gymnast has to go low to the beam. Has to show the different levels of work. Always elegant, Rebecca. Now, she's been solid on the beam. Now she just needs to be solid in the dismount. Builds power through the backflips. One backflip, two. Lifts up high, 2.5 twists. Well fought. Very good competition from Rebecca Wing. She's fought her way round and performed very well indeed.
Very solid, very consistent. She was a little bit unhappy with floor, a little bit unsettled, but she's really gone through. Look at the smile. Well done indeed, Rebecca.
Yeah, she's improved as she's gone round. She hasn't got the highest level of difficulty, but she's certainly shown that she's somebody to be relied on under pressure.
Well, it augurs well. That's a score for 13.6. That's a good score for her. So Bridget Sloan wins the battle at the very end then. Rebecca Bross takes the silver medal, and little Coco Surumi comes to get a bronze. Lauren Mitchell just outside of the medals there. Rebecca Downey down in 16th after the problems. Semenova down there as well in 13th. So there we are. Rebecca Wing in 18th place. Top 20, both girls. Well done indeed.
Yes, a top 20 finish. I'm here now with both of the Beckys. Let's start with Rebecca Wing. You look very happy after that. How was the competition for you?
Yeah, it was really good. I was so happy with how I performed today. I've never made an all-round final before, so I didn't really know what to expect. Just wanted to go out, have a clean competition. That's exactly what I did, so I'm really happy.
Well, congratulations, and Becky Downey. Super start, but not really the finish you were looking for.
Yeah, I'm obviously disappointed with the mistakes, but it obviously wasn't my time today. Hopefully the Europeans next year, there's plenty more competitions to come, so hopefully I'll have my time soon.
Lovely. Well, thank you both for talking to us.
Well, just very quickly, Craig, it just shows you how it can all turn at the end. You know, for the Americans, great performances, but Bross will be disappointed.
Absolutely, it's a very tough position to go up last. All the pressure's on, and unfortunately she couldn't hold on to it. But the experience will be invaluable for the future.
Bridget Sloan, she was part of that American squad last year in the shadow of Lucan and Johnson to a certain extent, so she's got her gold medal. Our girls didn't make it into the top 10, but good performances. But it's Lewis Smith all our eyes will be on tomorrow, the Pommel Horse final. We're on at 1 o'clock on BBC One. We'll see you then.
Preparing for the cold weather next on BBC Two with Gardener's World.
1, 2. I don't do it for the glory. I don't do it for the fame.
How much further?
Come on. I don't do it for the money or to be in the limelight. I do it to make a difference.
Well done.
My name is Jermaine Liebird and I coach young athletes.
The search is on for this year's Sports Unsung Hero. To nominate yours, go to bbc.co.uk/Sports Unsung Hero.
They're smart animals,
They
aren't they?
are brilliant.
I really like them. And if you'd like to find out why hedgehogs hibernate, how they hibernate, and what to do if your hedgehog isn't hibernating...
Watch Autumn Watch tonight, 9 o'clock with BBC Two. Or you can just go to sleep.